Public Works Protection Act, as it's called, isn't new, but extending it broadly to downtown city blocks is unprecedented.
It's entirely reasonable, and that we would be able to restrict the area around the summit. We have a legislative responsibility to protect that event.
Police are using it. Several people have been arrested. Andrew Veach, an activist, tested the police response and videotaped it.
Within 5 meters of this wall, so please turn off your video camera.
We can't film within 5 meters of the wall?
That's correct. So your friend didn't want to tell the police who he was, so he's been arrested for the time being.
Press for Truth. So you're you're the group that's doing all the YouTube and all that stuff?
Yeah, we've done a lot of YouTube videos and stuff. We've been doing that for a couple of years now, so.
Okay. These are the guys that are doing the YouTube.
How's it going, buddy?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Fellas?
I won't get your face on camera, I just want to get a shot of you.
What is the reason why? Can you, like, honestly, I'm asking you not to film me right now.
Yeah, I just want to get a shot of you holding my
You're doing this for
identification.
YouTube. You're not doing this for global, and you're not on the news. So I'm asking you. I do not want to be on YouTube, and I have every right to ask you not to put me on YouTube.
Yeah, I know you do.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again to either turn your camera off, okay, or I will take your camera until I'm done speaking with you, because me as a personal, even as not a police officer, when I go home at the end of the night, I do not want to be on YouTube. I'm not the kind of person who appreciates having my face put on YouTube. So
I know, but we're also in a public
not,
area. We're also in a public area.
Yeah, but I'm asking you not to, and I've asked you now face to face.
I know you.
Because then I could turn that around and use that against you when I see myself on YouTube, and I have asked you not to put me on there, okay?
Yeah.
Because I have that right as well, okay? Police officer aside, I have that right as a person and an individual to ask you not to put me on camera.
Absolutely, you have the right to ask. Yeah.
I just want to know what I'm actually myself interested in why you guys do this.
We do this because we feel that the mainstream media doesn't cover everything.
I'm gonna ask you again, please.
We do this because we feel that the mainstream media doesn't cover every single angle of it, and they do have corporate interests that they wish to uphold in terms of CTV, CBC, Globe Media. There's 5 corporations that are owned by 5 individuals in this country that control all of the major media. And as an independent media source, we try to go out and expose stuff like this that's going on, where we happen to think that, you know, the security that's being set up here is just, you know, happens to be a, you know, I just think it's a little bit much in terms of the amount of security that's going on, and we want to document it because we're planning on making a documentary out of this. Okay. Well, I mean, at the same time, though, I mean, I wasn't.
Can I ask you one more time, or I am going to turn the camera off?
No, I'm keeping it rolling for legal reasons.
Because you're not working for Global, you're not supposed to be in the middle of the interdiction zone and all these different places.
But not working for Global, we are a registered media company. Independent media should be treated the same as regular conglomerate corporate media. I'm saying that I think the policies that are being applied here are bad policies. Not you as a bad person. I don't know you, Officer Cochran, and I don't know you. But I mean, I'm not portraying anybody as a bad person. What I'm trying to do is say that whenever these bank governors come down to the city, it's an excuse to crack down on people's rights in the country. No, you may not. I don't want to give out my phone number, but I'll give out all this other information for you. And I think there's 4,000 media outlets down here. I think that all angles are going to be covered, and we're just covering the angle that we think is important. And I think a number of people think it's important because we're getting a lot of people tuning in. What I would like to say in response to what Officer Cochran was talking about on the street is that our duty as media is to come out here and cover what we feel is important, and we can't portray anything that we don't see from our own point of view. We're going to have a point of view. We're going to have an opinion on stuff. I don't think that we portray the police in a bad light. And I think it's important to keep in mind that I'm not approaching any of these officers for interviews. I'm not going up to them and approaching them and asking them for interviews. But as public officers on public streets, we do have a right to go and film them, and that comes part and parcel with being a police officer and being a public servant.
The penalty, a $500 fine or 2 months in jail. The regulation lasts for Summit Week.
No, we're not looking for conflict here.
Police lobbied for it. The provincial cabinet granted it earlier this month.
Basically, what the law entails is that if you are inside of the security zone, they have the authority to force you to identify yourself or be arrested, such as in the case of Charlie Veach from the Love Police yesterday.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Hello. How are you guys? Good. How's it going? Good.
Very well, sir. How are you? Well, these guys are from Press for Truth, and I'm from the Love Police.
You're within 5 meters of this wall, so please turn off your video camera.
We can't film within 5 meters of the wall?
No, that's correct.
Okay.
Public
Where
Works
can we
Act
film?
states that, so please
Because we're
show your identification to these officers.
5 meters from this wall. All right, we'll stop filming. But it's because obviously.
Show your identification, please.
Can I just ask a question, please, sir?
From this particular wall.
Can I please look at the actual paperwork from the law that says we're not?
You can film freely.
Can I please see your identification, sir? Because we're both human beings, but are we not equal before the law until someone
I've
breaks
asked
the
you
law?
to turn the camera off. I don't anticipate any trouble whatsoever. And that's it. I hope that sounds fair and is fair with everybody, right? So, can you...
Is he being detained right now, or?
He's just talking. Same thing that I've asked you to stop filming, brother. Come on. I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I know it's very interesting. You have nothing to worry about with his safety.
Okay.
Okay?
ID?
So, did this gentleman produce ID as of yet?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So your friend didn't want to tell the police who he was, so he's been arrested for the time being. Okay. So they're going to determine who he is, and then once they determine who he is, he'll be released.
I came into Cherry Beach here to film some shots of the waterfront and the city skyline and try and get some shots of the rumored camp where they're keeping all of the homeless people. How about my passport?
That's fine, sir. Thank you. Can you take it over, please?
Wasn't aware of this one up your area. Thanks.
So it's Cherry Beach is that way, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And which zone is this? Like, am I in, just for future reference, am I inside of a security zone, or?
You're too close.
Too close to the?
Yes. That's Cherry Beach. If that's where you want to go, you're free to go, sir.
If I was to get some shots from here, where would be a safe area to get shots from?
What? What are you looking to take pictures of?
Well, I just mean in general. Like, I just paused here to check a hard drive in my pocket, and then next thing I knew, there were forensic identification service coming out. So I want to know, for future reference, if I were to come down here to, let's say, get a shot of like the Port Toronto sign panning out of all the fence stuff.
You can get it from the Cherry Beach down there, sir.
Okay.
Okay?
But not across the street or anything like that?
No, sir. You're free to go. You're in your way.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks very much. So, there we go. Pause to take a drink of water and check my hard drive, which has now failed on me, and I was approached by another 4 police officers outside of the security zone, and as far as I know, outside of the mandate of the new act that was just passed, and still forced to surrender identification under possible threat of detainment and or arrest. I'm now being followed by a van of police officers who are taking photographs of me. Completely fair, I don't have a problem with that, as long as they don't have a problem with me taking their photo. After I left Cherry Beach, I was walking down the street. I was being followed by a van full of police officers. They followed me all the way down the street. I walked about 600 meters, went over the bridge, way out of the area that they told me was quote-unquote too close to a supposed security zone that I was unaware of. But I went about 600 meters outside of that, tried to set up my camera so that I could do a little update, and that was when 2 police vans swarmed in with 4 officers, and once again, the exact same officers that I had already surrendered my passport to asked to see my identification and demanded to know what I was filming and why I was filming, and it was quite a frightening experience, to say the least. They told me I was not allowed filming on the streets across that bridge over there. However, City TV was filming me the entire time, so apparently there's a double standard for the corporate media and for the independent media.